Danny, as you as a fighter, and all the things that you do at the gym, and sometimes people stay quiet and they don't talk about injuries and what are your thoughts when a fighter steps injured and make a fight, and sometimes we see incidents like, God forbid, I mean, I don't want to see none of the fighters, not even nobody, and amateurs, pro, like
Yeah.
when we see incidents and they lose their fights. What are your thoughts on it?
Nah, man, boxing's not a game. You're never gonna be 100%. But lagging injuries, things happening. Fighters are never gonna stop a fight, especially if it's a giant fight. You're not gonna pull out. So you're gonna deal with whatever, broken shoulder, knockout, hurt, bad wrist, hurt ankle. You're gonna go in there, and you see sometimes fighters just turn to dog shit in there because their leg breaks or their arms break or they get hit with one shot and they fall. But the thing is, in boxing, you only got a certain amount of opportunities. It takes a lot of money and a lot of time to put on a card. And if you're the main attraction on the card and you pull out, you kind of get flagged in boxing as like, oh, fuck that guy. We're never going to put him again. So sometimes these fighters just take chances because if you do that, you're going to get flagged and you maybe never get put on another card. So, it sucks. But for the fighters, they really don't have a choice because if they say no, they might be flagged for a year or might not fight for a year. So a lot of times they just take it, and fighters are tough. Fighters, always think they can just fight through it. But I guarantee a lot of fighters out here maybe never been their best, and even in any fight they ever had, because always is an injury, always is something. For me, something's always hurting, but I'm always just going in there and just doing what I gotta do, but you're never gonna fight 100%. So you gotta understand the risk, the reward, and make a good decision on what you really feel. If you think it's a good idea to just say no, take the consequences, or then go take yes, and then take the consequences in the ring. You gotta see, you can always end up still winning a fight with injuries. You could still lose a fight with injuries. Either one is a gamble. So it's kind of basically you're playing poker with yourself.
For you as a fighter, do you think, like, let's say, I mean, once again, I don't want to see people die in the ring or something happen, like more in a way that we later on gonna regret.
Yeah.
And let's say an example, right? If something happens, with all due respect to you, like something happens and you don't feel okay on that night, would you be able to stop the fight, you as a fighter, or continue? I know it's a hard, question, but you explain it.
In the fight, I will never stop. In the fight, it's die, kill or be killed. It doesn't even matter, Like at that point, you're fighting already. I would never want to live with a regret that I pulled out of, like I decided to quit on the stools. That it would destroy me. It would be like I'm dead anyway. Emotionally, I'll be so hurt from just quitting that it would hurt me for the rest of my life. So it's like I'll be dead in that way. God forbid things like that ever happen. But the sport is smart. It's a little more safe. But the couple guys just died. Rest in peace to them. But you decide to do this, take it 100% serious, and you're taking a chance. But you're taking a chance doing anything. You could be riding your bike, get hit by a car, and die. It's the same thing. At least boxing, you get a reward out of it. So you got to look at it like that. Maybe before a fight, if I'm injured and I know I shouldn't fight, I might pull out of something like that, because it's more important the longer the career, long term. Don't think about short term.
Yeah.
But in a fight, to say, oh, my head hurts or something like that, nah. Yeah, at that mindset in the fight, you're there to kill, and that's all you're there for.
Well, I mean, I respect your decision. I say, always in my behalf, I respect whoever loses and whoever wins. But that was a tough, answer that you said it, because I mean, if you ask me if I was the fighter and I don't feel well, I know what you mean when you say that, I want to quit, or I quit the fight, and then later on that will hurt myself, my career. But I guess I will stop the fight,
Yeah.
regardless, like
Yeah.
whatever people, might say, oh, you're a quitter, you
Yeah.
are this, you are that, but I guess I don't own nothing to. I mean, of course, I own, the show to people,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, I want to live another day. So
Yeah.
I respect, your opinion. I mean, every fighter is different,
Exactly.
and I say, this is a dangerous sport. You mentioned it. This is one of the sports that when you stepping in,
You know what you're stepping into. Yeah.
you stepping in, you already know what the consequences they might come or the risk that it takes, in order to be a fighter. And I always encourage, all the fight fans and everybody. I said, let's give the respect, to all fighters, because they expose their lives in order to give us a show. And I love, when I get to see great fights, and of course, people love it too. Any message that you would like to send the fight fans and everyone that keep in touch with you and stay tuned?
Just follow me, Daniel Guy on Instagram, and just stay tuned. Big fights coming, big things happening. I tell you guys, work hard. I came from nothing. I didn't do any. I had nothing special about me. I just worked my ass off, and I just dedicated, and I was focused, and I did what it took to fight, and it paid off. So just keep watching me. One day I have the world title, and the story will be over, and everyone can believe you can come from nothing to a world champion. That's what I'm trying to, inspire to everybody.
Gallo, we're wishing the best for you.
Yeah.
We will stay tuned, more coming, news of you. Thank you for your time and everything. Thanks.